Wow. Wow. Tumbler rigs. Wow. Wow. Hey, Yamcha. Even my cat said sorry. What's wrong with these people, man? Hi, buddy. Meow. 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 What's wrong with these people? She killed 8 people. She got rid of 2 of her family members, herself and them. We should really talk about the mental illness in this continent. See, before I labeled it as America, it's spread everywhere in this continent. School shootings, children getting killed. I remember stories told back in the day that black people send their kids to school and they didn't know if they would ever see them again. Hey, white folk, how does it feel? The hate in this world is at an all-time high. And it's for no reason. I had a long talk with my daughter yesterday, maybe a 20-minute talk. I elaborated on some things. I said, white people hate black people. I said, I don't understand why white people hate black people so much. We built this country as slaves. You hate me for building, cultivating, and producing the land that you so claim rights to. Irish people came to this country and was beaten like dogs until they figured if they identify as white, they'll be treated better than the blacks. Get it? I didn't even know this happened until 3 minutes ago. I didn't even know this was going on because I'm disconnected and I'm desensitized to this bullshit. Let's take it all back to this century of what made us so numb to this. First, we're going to talk about 9/11. We already know who did it. We already know why they did it, because 20 years later, we have smartphones, smart TVs, and a surveillance state. They said it was for our protection. This is our protection? From who? We now have a surveillance state no different than Europe. We have immigration running around killing Americans. We have the army on American land. I told my daughter, I said, this human or this evil human in the White House, my confusion is this. Everybody in the world knows he's racist. We know his father was arrested at a KKK rally. Do you think his father, after being arrested, remember at one point they couldn't arrest white men, and went home and said, little Donnie, you little orange-haired bastard, you got to learn to love everybody? No, he went home and created evil and taught this man to hate. He was made in hate. He was produced in hate. He was birthed out of hate. He was created out of hate. All races are created out of hate. How could you look at your mother and your father today? How could you look at your mother and father today and say you loved me? Any racist person in this country, how could you look at your father or your mother and say you loved me? They raised you to hate. A parent's supposed to teach their kid to be amazing, loving, kind, to go beyond what they was. These people taught their kids to go beyond hatred, to use their guns to prove their hate. The rhetoric on social media, the reason why Trump created his own social media was for what? Hate. To bring out hate. Because if you notice, I want y'all to look back. It wasn't like this before him. It wasn't like this. People were working 3 jobs, make America great again. 3 jobs? You got white American blonde-haired women being murdered in the street. And he said it's their fault. Pam Bondi's on the Hill. She couldn't even look at the victims. She couldn't even look at the victims. Christie, Noam, who somehow initials spell KKK. I don't even get that, but we'll leave that there. Or something. Some bullshit like that. How can you not look at the victims that your boss touched? See, the reason why he's not going to follow through with this lawsuit on Don Lemon is because they have to go through discovery. See, I went through court proceedings before in my life, in my 800 years on this planet. I'm an old soul. And when you go through court proceedings, there's a moment called discovery, which means he has to give up everything he has to prove he's not guilty, which means all them Epstein's files will be public, unredacted. Nicki Minaj, the 2025 Coon of the Year. She is that guy from Django, the house. Why is nobody complaining that? Why are people complaining that there are illegals here, but Trump and JD's wives are from other countries? They don't belong here. But nobody said a word from MAGA. So this is the MAGA mentality. Make a Mara mentality. Make America racist again. A pedophile, a potential pedo, a potential killer, a potential child killer, a potential child toucher, a potential liar, a potential racist. This is who we look up to. This is our God. You know, they say they hate black people. Well, you couldn't do the work in the 1600s. You wasn't going to enslave your own race. Why do you hate black people if their hard work and blood, how many died on them fields to give you tea so you could fuck the big booty slaves in the basement? How come nobody's ever been arrested for the experiments done in 1929 with syphilis? How come the only people being raided are black and brown countries? How come we all know that guy from Israel is a war crime and he is welcomed here with Trump? How come black people are not getting in the mix of this when Trump posted that stuff? Because it's a provoke method. They've been running the racist, provoke black people playbook for 400 years. This time you don't see nobody black. Now it's white and Spanish getting murdered in the streets. That one black guy got murdered. The news didn't even report it. The news didn't even report it. But they report all the white women being murdered. White women born in 1940, this is all your fault we're in this place because you gave birth to these racist pieces of crap. You sat at home and let these racist men all up in your box. You raised these racist people. You didn't walk in the room 15 years after little Johnny was born and see the N-word, I hate them, on your husband's poster. You knew this when you took him in your walls. You knew this when you let him in you, that you were about to give birth to a racist, evil man's child. And he beat you if you said anything different. But that's okay, because it was in the name of white power.